award-winning Katie?
Oh, well, I managed to find the time to fit this into my busy schedule, because I'm,
I mean, I'm not, I'm not, what's it? Oh, what's that? Oh, it's just, this is the old.
Sorry, I just moved my shoulder here. And, what
are
these?
yeah. Oh, that's all I've got.
What's
Yeah,
this? This just fell over. Oh, look at that.
Oh, this little thing. Yeah, there you go. TVR and BX.
Oh, this one is from the Panda. It's the only other trophy I've ever won.
You've got two. Oh, damn it! You've got two.
Yeah, I won.
Can't have anything, can I?
I won Fiat Panda UK Admin's Choice at Auto Italia in 2018.
What's the admin's choice?
So it was on the club stand, and it was the admin's favourite car. So
it's literally the admin's choice.
Yeah, quite literally, admin's choice. Oh, is
That's disgusting. So yeah, the donation car update?
Now.
Wow. Okay, so the donations are up to 5736.
Oh.
I don't have a picture, but it would be an Ultima.
Oh.
With a 6,669cc engine.
Blimey. So do you have?
I don't have one.
One, or?
Sorry.
Do you have a car for like every single bit, or is it going
to be?
I did.
Like, you don't have most of the targets were. Yeah, I did, but most of the targets were broken when I was offline. Oh. So it's not really worked. And then some of them were reached when I was online talking to people.
Mm.
So I didn't get a chance to do the stories and put the cars up and stuff. So some of them have gone straight up on the wall up there. So yeah, I'll do them. I don't know when I'll do them. Which one? Shall I do the Panda one?
Oh, really? Won't you? Just get all the stories in it.
Shall I do the Panda? I'll get the Panda done. What was the Panda story? Christ, I forgot. Right, so back in 2002, mate of mine sold his. Or what did he sell? I think it was a Mitsubishi FTO. I think, and he needed a car, and he was offered by a family friend a Fiat Panda, and he rang me and said, "I've been offered a Fiat Panda. I'm going to go and get it." And I said, "I don't think you know what a Fiat Panda is." And he went, "No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine." I said, "I don't think you'll want it." Yeah. Be fine. Got a phone call a little bit later. "I've just picked it up. I can't drive this." and he was like, "No, I can't drive this." And he abandoned it on the side of a road in Southampton and went back to his mum and begged and said, "Can you lend me some money? I can't drive a Fiat Panda, like a proper old Fiat Panda." And she said, "I'll lend you some money if there's a car out there." And he found a Mark III Cavalier for 250 quid.
Wow.
And he went and got that, and it felt like a limo compared to the Panda. So he left the Panda on the side of the road and forgot about it. And then my car went into the body shop, and I had to go. I needed a car, and he said, "A Panda might still be there."
It might.
I don't know. I think I'd have to double check. I think the keys are in it. I think he just left it there with the keys in it.
Nobody else.
So we went there.
Well, I'm not having that.
Well, yeah. You couldn't get nicked, and we went there, and it was still there. and it started, which was worse than that. And it was a Panda. It was a Panda 750 on an F-reg. It didn't have carpet. It had a plastic covered floor. And I drove it home, and I insured it for a week, and I drove it around for a week, and then I insured it for another week because my car was still at the body shop, and drove it around for another week, and then I just got sick of paying for it, so I just drove it with nothing basically, because my car was supposed to be ready, and it was doing low 20s to the gallon. Like it was. I mean, the air filter was so clogged, we just took it off and put it in the boot and drove it with no air filter. And when it rained, it filled up with water really badly. So we drilled holes in the floor It seemed the easy way. He tried putting gaffer tape around the sunroof and he couldn't stop it. And the easiest thing to do seemed to be to just, if it comes in, make it go out. And eventually I got my car back. I nearly rolled it as well one night. And then eventually I got my car back. And I was working at a furniture store, and there was a guy there who was older and he was learning to drive, but he still lived with his parents. And I said, "Do you know what you want?" We used to call him Blakey because he looked like Blakey from on the buses.
Oh.
And I said, "Do you know what you want?" And he said, "What?" I said, "You want a Fiat Panda?" And he's like, he doesn't know about cars. He's like, "No, I don't think I want. No, I don't think I do." I said, "Yes, you want a Fiat Panda? I'll bring it around to see it, so you can have a look at it." I'll bring it around tonight. I'm not in tonight. And I was like, perfect. So we drove this Fiat Panda to Shirley in Southampton, and I knew which house he had, and we drove it onto the driveway, put the keys through the letterbox, and like, no, that's your Fiat Panda. There you go. And that was the last I saw of it. I couldn't tell you what happened to it, but yeah, it just nailed fuel. It was so thirsty. It must have had all sorts of problems.
Oh, they're not meant to be like that, are they?
No. It was obviously ropey. It was a 750. It wasn't an L. It was like a special edition. Splash or something. I can't remember what it was, but it had a special name. It was white. Had a pop-up sunroof, which, as I say, leaks. Yeah, it was horrendous. It really was. But it did get me round. Yeah, so it's better than walk. Well, was it better than walking?
They're probably not as dry. Probably about the same amount of dryness.
About the same. Yeah. Yeah, about the same. So yeah, I remember, yeah. So, but then weirdly, I started working here when I was younger, and I didn't run the place. A friend of the guy who owned it asked if we could sell a Fiat Panda for him, and I was like, oh. It was a white Fiat Panda J-Reg, and I was like, it's not worth anything. Put it on eBay. It went for big money, and then the guy who come to pick it up, he was like, I can't believe we got such a bargain with this. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, these are worth big money now. I was like, what? Apparently, he goes, yeah, they'll go the same way as the 126 or the 500 or whatever. He said, all little Fiats, they always go up.
Yeah.
And I was like,
oh, they go for some stupid money now.
What's that? The
old 4x4, you know, like the Sizzlies and stuff like that. They go.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've just never paid attention to them, to be honest. But yeah, it's a funny little thing.
Like I say, my first car was a Panda, but the newer one, mine was a 54 plate, so a bit more.
Yeah, I quite liked those. I quite wanted a 100 HP.
Yeah.
But I went in one. And funnily enough, guy who got the Panda, my mate, he ended up getting a Fiat Panda 100 HP many years later. And it was just so bumpy. It was like, and the door, like the B pillar. I was like, I sat in the seat and I was like, I feel structural. I swear, my shoulder's the B pillar. Like, I get T-boned here. I'm just.
You are the crush zone.
Yeah, my shoulder's almost touching his shoulder, and his shoulder's touching the other pillar. It was like,
yeah, a bit like that. To be fair, the Abarth's a bit like that as well. If because me and my dad work at the same place, and we go in my car, and if we've both got like big coats on, we're touching shoulders. And I'm like, can you put your hand down so I can change gear, please?
Oh no, you get that in the Saxos. To be fair, we used to give people a lift in a Saxo, especially it was awkward if it was a girl because you got to change gear and you put your hand on the leg. Like, genuinely, I was going for second. Like, to be fair, if you're going to sit with your legs like this,
yeah, well,
it's kind of your fault, you know. If put your legs out straight or don't go in the car, you know. But especially when the gear linkage is gone, because the gear it gets even wider.
You're like, sorry, I just got to go over here for a bit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so how's the whoops. Oh, Carly's still going.
I know. Well done.
Surely the Bright Spark Award Raddest Car winner deserves some taps on the like button.
On the NEC like newsletter for the Classic Motor Show, they did like a little section for the Women Driver Social Club, and they've put me down as VW Scirocco, owned by Lancaster Insurance, Bright Young Spark winner Katie. And I was like, oh, that's a really long name. You can just call me Katie for short. And then in the group, we were like, well, actually, I'd like to be called Lancaster Bright Young Spark winner, Radwood, Raddest Carrot of the Show winner Katie. That's my full name.
Yeah, you need to abbreviate that. There must be some like,
short.
yeah, there must be some initials you can put or something. Just, I mean, yeah, Lady Katie would maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe there's the show-winning car behind you. I can see it.
Yeah, it's there. Although it has the wrong wheels in that photo. It's quite an old picture. Well, it's
Like
like
the gold ones.
they were like grey mesh ones. So
Okay.
One doing of that actually.
The ones you got on it now, I just love them on the Renault wheels. They just look so cool. I knew someone who had a Renault 5 Turbo in grey, and he had those wheels on that. It's just, I don't think there's a car they look bad on.
No. I've seen
a Fiat Panda. Maybe a Fiat Panda.
I saw a Nova Saloon with them on at Goodwood at Retro Rides.
Yeah. No, that would look good.
Yeah. Although I didn't have the centre caps on that one. To be fair, most times when I see them, they don't have the centre caps. So I don't know if people either prefer them without the centre caps or they just lose them. I don't know.
Well, that could mean that your centre caps are sought after.
Could be.
But they're white, so no one's going to take them because they won't match. Most people have the silver wheels.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's cool. It sounded it was when we left Radwood. We were like a couple. Well, you left before us because I know. I laughed on my missus because I noticed. I said, Katie's driven off. How far is she going to get before she realises she left that heck blend on the back?
Yeah.
And you got as far as the end of the lane.
I was like, oh God.
That's not cool. You're supposed to be punk. You're supposed to be like, I drive with what I want and just like drive on the road with it. And then you get in the lay-by around the corner and go, just kidding, I don't want to get any points on my license.
Yeah.
I'm not that punk.
Around the corner, but I still thought there's no point in risking it.
Yeah. But when we pulled out and we all then the gates were shut and we had to go back out through the main thing.
They're like, bye! And then just like 2 minutes later came back like, oh, the gates are shut. Go this way.
And then there was like a vintage car owners or something, weren't there, outside all the huts in the middle, like looking at all these like jumped up 80s cars and 90s cars go by, like what? But when we left, I think you were in front or 1 or 2 cars in front, and when you pulled away, it does look really cool, that car.
Yeah.
It looked really, really cool, but it smells quite nice as well. And it it just looks so smart pulling away. It's like, they need more cars like that to make you smile.
Yeah. It sounds better from behind. When you're in it, the exhaust manifold's blowing, so it's just like a wet fart, but from behind it sounds nice.
It sounded quite fruity, quite peppy. But no, I like it. How long have you had that now then?
5 years I've had that.
Wow. That's not bad going.
The longest I've had a car. Saying that I've only ever sold 1 car, so.
What was that?
The Panda.
Oh god, yeah.
Car I've kept so far, but then I've only ever bought 6. So, well, actually no, bought 5. I got given 1. That doesn't count.
That would be the Lowmax. Does that count as a car?
Well, yeah. I don't know if it counts as a tricycle or not. I don't know.
A death machine.
Yeah. Yeah. My dad doesn't want me to drive it like at all.
So what am I supposed to do with it then?
The other day, because last weekend there was a local show in Huddersfield, and I said, "Oh, I wanted to take the Lowmax to that, but it's not ready." And he went, "What? Drive it?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he went, "Oh, rather you than." Like, well, I didn't get it to just look at it, Like, my uncle drove it all the time for like 25 years. It was his only car, so why can't I go out and drive it? If he's
worried what'll happen if one of these big SUVs doesn't see it or something.
I don't think I'd want to take it on the motorway.
No, I don't think I'd want to either, to be honest. I think it'll probably let you go on it, but it'll put flashing lights all over it like one of those bicycles.
Yeah, he'll let me go on it, but he'll be absolutely terrified until he hears that I've arrived alive somewhere.
You need to get that app that I've got now, Live 360 or Live 360. it's an app you get, and you add your family into it, and basically like you can see where all your family are on a map. But when they're driving, it automatically figures out they're driving and tells you how fast they're going and
It'll just be
yeah,
stopped.
exactly. Yeah.
Stopped. Why is she stopped? Oh, she's moving again.
She stopped. She stopped. It's traffic lights. She shouldn't be stopped there for more than 20 seconds, or someone's rear-ended her. She hasn't moved. She's moving.
That's why. Because it's bad enough now. Like every time I go to a show, it's like text me when you get there. Tell me when you get there, and then I always forget to make you panic. But
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I can imagine. My kids aren't too far off being old enough to drive. I dread it. If they're anything like I was.
Yeah. To be fair, I've always been quite a sensible driver. I'm kind of boring. I've never really done anything stupid in the car. I once did handbrake turns in a field after a show and got kicked out in the Panda. But
I did handbrake turns in my first car, which was a BX, which will be of no surprise to anyone. But someone in the chat is about to go, BX has got handbrake on the front wheels. No one's done it yet. I think they're having their own chat.
They're not listening to us. They're just.
They're talking about that app. Yeah. So yeah, the BX had them on the front wheels, which meant that you couldn't do handbrake turns, but you could use the handbrake. Oh, there you go. BX has got a handbrake on the front wheel. I think he knew. I think he's one. Yeah, it means you could do handbrake turns, but they weren't handbrake turns. They were immense J turns.
Yeah.
They like, and you whip it round and yank the handbrake up, and it used to come round so fast. And I did it in Southsea once.
Oh, so my sister.
It did it so hard that one of the headlamp lenses flew off as I went round and went across the car park and smashed. Oh, no. I was like, huh. Oh.
Whoops.
That's suboptimal. So yeah, that was but yeah, and then we used to do it bloody flying there. We used to, when a mate of mine started driving, he had an Escort, and we used to pull the handbrake up on that when he was driving around when it was wet or icy or something. He'd just randomly pull the handbrake up while he was driving, and he used to get really upset. And he did it to me in the BX not long after I passed my test. It was frosty. We were going into a corner, he went like that, and of course the front wheels were locked up. It went straight on into a curb.
Oh, you're like, huh?
Yeah.
Tell me stories of when he was with his friends and they'd be at the lights, or they'd knock it out of gear or put it in reverse when they're not looking like that.
That'd be hilarious. When they're not looking, just go neutral.
that's what his brother used to do.
What?
Why aren't I moving? He once said that his brother put it in. There was a cop car behind him, and he put it in reverse. And my dad didn't know. Set off, nearly hit this guy. It's like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. You mad? Oh man, no one did that to me.
Yeah, I just did. It was a show in some field, obviously somewhere, and it was empty. Everyone else had left. There was like 3 of us left, so we all sort of did some little handbrake turns, and then some very angry man in a high vis came over and told us to leave, and you won't be welcome back next year, and it's people like you that ruin these shows, blah blah blah. And I was like, all right, okay. Anyway, the next year they used all my photos to promote the event. So I was like, oh, okay.
How interesting.
Yeah, like, let's really realise who took those photos.
Yeah, no, it makes me laugh. But it's difficult because although people, like, you don't want people driving recklessly on the road.
Yeah, I mean, it was a silly thing to do, but no big deal.
Yeah, it was. But
it's a funny story now. I wouldn't do it again. But
no, that's the thing. But then at the same time, I do kind of feel like when I look back at it, I'm like, they do need somewhere for young youths to go with their cars.
Yeah,
you don't want to hang around in car parks,
skidding on McDonald's trays and stuff like that.
2 McDonald's trays under the back wheel. I've got a rear-wheel drive car now. But yeah, I don't know. I do kind of sympathise. I mean, I look at the youth now and I'm like, oh, you young whippersnappers, I was like it once, but yeah, it would be. You do need somewhere to go. Where can you take if you're a youngster and you want to muck about in your car? Where can you go? It's a privilege to drive, isn't it? It's not right, but
a lot of them nowadays, all the modern cars have all all your driving assists, and so they all think that they can drift around corners and stuff like that because they can't. But in reality, they haven't got any talent at all.
no, pop and bang maps, yo.
Oh God, that's horrible.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, yeah, I remember the days. God, we had so much stuff I used to do. It was ridiculous. The funniest thing I ever saw was was it the funniest thing I ever saw? Funniest thing I can remember at the moment was seeing guy in a mate of mine had a Fiat Punto Turbo, Fiat Punto GT Turbo, and he did a handbrake turn out in the New Forest. There's an old airfield disused from the war, and you used to be able to drive onto it. And but it's like individual slabs. It's not like a complete concrete runway. Or if it was, it's all broken up into individual chunks. And he was doing handbrake turns or trying to do handbrake turns, and because of course all the hot hatches had disc brakes on the back, which were worse for handbrake turns. The drums were king for handbrake turn. And he did a handbrake turn in it, and he ripped the tire off the rim. And we watched as some guy comes along. He goes, "No, it's all right. I know about this. And he's got his foot pump out, and he's there, and he's going.
It'll pop back on eventually.
Yeah, that's all we were watching it, going, "What's he doing?" He goes, "No, I've seen it. The bead will pop back on." I was like, "Will it? Will it? Yeah."
Trust me, it will eventually.
It kicked me. He nearly had a hernia. Red in the face, pumping away. I'm like, "No, don't tell him." And then someone tried a deodorant can on a match, and that didn't work. And yeah, that didn't work either. It was just, but that car, that was so illegal. That car, I think he just drove it home in the end. It was like 1 a.m. and he's like, "I can't get caught. I can't get caught." I was like, "Yeah, drive home with sparks come out the back instead." That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some fun. We did have. Although, funnily enough, I found a guy who used to go to hang around with us, got arrested and was in the news 2 days ago for stealing over £420,000 worth of stuff.
Oh, right, okay.
He's in prison now.
Yeah, not surprising. After that.
Yeah.
So he's just moved to bigger and better crimes then, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, handbrake turning in McDonald's car park wasn't enough.
No.
It's a slippery slope, isn't it?
It's a gateway.
You start with the handbrake turns, but before you know it, you're embezzling money. It's someone said handbrake turns are fun in a Volvo 740. We did drifting in a Volvo 740 around a field. That was fun, but got in trouble because we wrecked the field. But yeah, gold 740. I remember that. But someone just said it's dinner time.
Oh yeah, that's Brian. He's in America, so.
Yeah.
I think he's in Idaho or something like that. I can't remember.
Lion Fox. People are still going.
I know there's loads of people still here. I didn't realise people would want to stick around for me. Like, oh God, not hearing about Radwood again.
Radwood?
Radwood?
What happened at Radwood?
No, nothing. I never heard of it. I don't know. Some show or something. I don't know.
What do you reckon to Radwood then? If you compared Radwood to, can you compare it to Festival of the Unexceptional, or are they two? Is one more niche?
I like it, but I feel like it still has quite a few teething problems. And Jim on Twitter brought up a good thing where the term rad doesn't really mean much in the UK compared to America, because obviously it's an American show that's been brought over to the UK, and I think it had to find its feet a bit because things weren't rad here, were they? You had Margaret Thatcher and the miners' strikes, and stuff like that wasn't quite as rad. But then you still had like the new romantics and stuff like that. So I think it just needs tweaking for the.
That wasn't rad. That was sad.
Yeah.
They were all like, I want to die. Yeah, they were. What did we have? What was good here in the 80s?
Yeah.
Oh no, good here. Good that people liked here.
I think like what my mum and dad talk about. The nightclubs sounded good. That's about it.
I mean, going out and seeing people though. I'm like,
Yeah. Was it Steve that asked me if I'd ever replace the shock code? No, that's a forever car. If I ever put that up for sale, send help.
Really? That's how connected you are now?
It was just like it's my first classic. I don't know. I just love that. Like it's on my wallpaper on my screen. Just looking at it, it just fills me with joy.
Well, it's one of those cool cars where, like, you don't have to do a crazy amount. They kind of look quite cool as they are. And then if you just do a couple of little things like you've done, all of a sudden it's much more like personalised now.
I think. I mean, touch wood. It's been such a trouble-free car, complete opposite to the Audi, and it's just a car that I can rely on, and I can just get in it, and I can just drive anywhere.
Yeah.
Not in the dark because the headlights still don't work properly, but
and not in the rain because the wipers don't work for.
They didn't when I first got it, but I've sort of fixed that now.
But you can take passengers now.
Only like 2.
Oh.
It's a bit too low at the back. I think it's because I've got spacers on the back, so that's why it rubs.
Okay, so it's getting nearer the lips on the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I hadn't got stupid spacers on it, it'd probably be all right.
Yeah, but you want that stance.
Yeah.
That stance.
Those are really far in. Plus, the Clio wheels needed a bit of spacers anyway because they were a bit too close to the strut.
Right. Okay.
I think.
How is the Audi?
I mean, it's been okay so far. My dad uses it every now and then, but I'm still wary of it. I feel like it's a dog that's bitten me, and I'm still a bit wary around it. It's just every time it goes out, because like sometimes my dad will take it to work, and I'll follow him in case he finishes earlier than me because he does something different, and he gets an early finish sometimes. And when I lose sight of him, I'm just expecting to see him with the hazards on somewhere. It's just, I mean, it's been fine, but I just.
That trust isn't there at the moment.
Yeah, and my dad keeps saying like, if you just get rid of it if you want, and it's like, I don't know because I went all stupid and named it. Oh, it's George. Like everybody calls it George. Like even at work, everybody calls it George. And it's just sort of like so many other people have given up on it. Who else would take it on? But
I mean, to be fair, Christine had a name.
Yeah, it is a bit like that. Yeah. Except Christine fixed herself. George doesn't do that.
True.
But it was actually one thing that when I was at Practical Classics in July that James Walsh said to me that sort of stuck in my head is that he said he had 2 and they were autos and the boxes went on both. He said, "Oh, they're a weak point," and I'm like, "Oh God, don't say that." Like he said,
the
"Oh,
box as well."
I was like, "Don't say that." I haven't told my dad because my dad will just panic immediately. But I mean, he won't be watching this. He's in bed now. He's fine.
Say hi, Katie's dad. He's in the chat. Off to burn the Audi.
Yeah. And James was like, "Oh, you probably get off getting a manual, having as a donor car, and doing a manual swap." And I'm like, "I don't have the time. I don't have the space." So it's like, if the box goes, that's it for that car. I can't do that. And if it continues to blow radiators, it's gonna have to be the head off because I've replaced everything else, and I don't have the mental capacity to do that because, like, it does. I mean, it sounds stupid because it's not really that unreliable. Like there are worse cars, but I think it's because it's so complex for the age, and you just cannot get parts for it anywhere except for Lithuania. So if I lived in Lithuania, I'd be fine.
Why Lithuania?
I don't know, but there's loads.
Do they still use them?
Yeah, on eBay, there's loads in Lithuania, and there's actually, well, I haven't seen it on Instagram for a while, but at the start of the Ukraine war, there was an Audi 100 that was running supplies and running people about and getting shot up and still driving, and like I think there's one that had a gear. It was a manual, and it got stuck in reverse, and they drove 30 miles in reverse to get war zone and stuff like that. I'm like, George, why can't you be like that? Look at that one.
Yeah. Damn it,
Look
George! Look at that.
You're
There
here,
was
hey, going, oh, I can't myself. Like, what's wrong with you?
oh, I'm feeling a little bit hot.
Well, I don't like my radiator. Oh, well, get a grip, you know.
I think there was when you mentioned Ukraine, when it all kicked off. I forget the name of the city that it was in, but there was a C6. A guy on the Facebook. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him for a while. Post, but on the C6 page on Facebook, he was posting, and he was in this. Oh no, I can't remember where it was. It was a short name, and he was just like, yeah, we're all right here. And then the next day, nah, building got hit. We were like, what building? Our building. What? And he's like, I'm gonna go outside and see the damage. And I'm like, well, you still walk outside. That's a start.
Yeah.
Suggest that you're not outside now. And he's like, oh, the C6 has taken it, and the C6 is like, its shrapnel's gone off, and it's like shredded the side of the car. Window blown out at the back, the curved window's gone, the panel on the boot is all burnt off and melted. You know, the seats are ripped. I think one of the airbags went off. It was like, and he was like, no, and then like, you know, oh wow, that's a shame, sort of thing. And then later on, you see pictures again, and he's like, well, we've managed to get it going. Yeah, it's going, blah blah blah. And he's using it. And he's running people to the hospital in it. So like, they've got these empty, deserted streets, and he's going like flat out through these streets in the city because there's no one around, doing like mega speeds, ferrying like old people to the hospital and stuff, backwards and forwards. And he checked in about 3 times, and it was still going.
Yeah.
So I hope it is. I mean, I forgot to check up on it, but I think James Walsh saw it actually. I think he was on about organising a whip round of like parts to send him to fix it. But to be honest, they're so cheap over here now. You could just buy them a car and send them the car.
Here's the supply of C6s. There you go.
Yeah, they're not worth much now. You can't. Yeah, I mean, you see them up for. You'll see people trying to sell them for $6,000 or something like that. I guarantee they don't sell for that.
Yeah.
You know, then they're not worth much at all. Which is another reason why I'm not thinking of selling it. Is there a market for armoured C6s? Well, there was. In France, the president had one.
I was trying to scroll. I kept seeing questions. I'm trying to keep up. Are you really into all things VAG, or is it just a coincidence? Yeah, it's just a coincidence, really. Because I grew up around Fords, and then it wasn't until I started working at a VAG place that I got into VWs, and it's just kind of gone from there. But I like everything. It's just I just happen to have a lot of VAG stuff.
Yeah, you've got the Scirocco and the Golf.
The Golf, yeah. In fact,
Does it count as a Golf yet? Or is it still a shell?
Yeah. In fact, well, today, the 30th, Saturday, is a year since I bought that car.
Ah.
And I've done nothing. Well, I put it on the
like me with the SM.
Yeah, put it on the rotisserie, but apart from that.
Yeah, I need a rotisserie for the SM.
Yeah, when you go in and said, "Oh, where do you get that rotisserie from?" I'm like, I wouldn't recommend this. Like, it can barely hold the Golf up.
Oh, really?
So wobbly. You can't rotate the Golf fully round because there's so much flex. It gets stuck.
Oh, gosh.
And when it's locked, it's still got about that much movement when the pins are in. So I have no idea where he got that from, but I would not want to. In fact, I'm kind of scared to use it at all, really. But
I did think about making one, but it's just there's a lot of aggro.
Yeah. Although I found out that my old boss, because my old boss watches my videos, and my mum still takes a car down there sometimes, and he was like, Katie's never going to do that car. She's never going to do that Golf. It's like, well, now you've said that, I'm going to have to do it now.
I'm going to have to now.
It might take me a while, but I'm going to do it.
Someone needs to tell. I'll never get that SM done.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, no, you're probably right.
It's just hard to prioritize because I spent all that time doing the shock off suspension, which I didn't really need to do, but it has improved it a lot. And then obviously the Audi's been doing Audi things, and so I haven't touched the Lowmax or the Golf, and I'm just sort of struggling to prioritize them.
Does the Lowmax need much touching then? Like, is it a case of there are repairs it needs, or is it a case of there are things I want to do to make it like that I would like it more? Like,
Yeah.
what do you want to do?
I mean, it's only been off the road 3 years, but obviously I've got all the holes in it now that I need to sort. But
Because you took that shed off the top of it.
yeah. But I haven't actually had a proper look around it. But from what I can see, well, the handbrake doesn't work. It's completely seized off. You can't put it on at all. I think I've noticed a couple of CV boots are a bit perished, and I don't know anything about 2CVs, but they've got them 2 big long shockers in the middle on each edge. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they had. Yeah, I mean the 2CVs have, but I didn't know how the Lowmax was set up.
Yeah, it's just exactly the same as a 2CV. It's only got 1 rear axle instead of 2. I think that's the only difference.
So it's got the opposing, because they have they've got the rods from the front and rear axle, and they push against the spring in the middle. I think, is there 1 spring and both arms push against it like that? Or is it 2? I can't remember.
I've just noticed these 2 shock absorber looking things on each edge that look like. I mean, the boots on them are completely split, and they're all leaking and stuff like that. So I need to have a really good look around it.
Yeah.
I could use it as it is. It's tax and MOT exempt, but I don't want to.
No. Finding somewhere that can MOT it's fun because you can't put them on a normal MOT.
No, you have to find someone that does bike MOTs or 3-wheeler MOTs. But
yeah.
No, auto lass. I don't know if you've seen her stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, I think I have.
Yeah, she's not that far from. She's only about 20 minutes away from here. She's in Oldham, and she does all classes of MOTs. So I'm just going to take it there. I think it'll be easier.
Well, yeah, might as well.
Nice
when I saw that Top Gear when they were doing the Reliant Robins, and I've never laughed so hard at Top Gear when he pulled into the garage and he went to drive it over the pit. And just bang! It had the triumphant music, like we're going to modify this car.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, it would happen back first. It would happen at the back, wouldn't it? So you drive in.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, I'm all right. Oh.
And then you wouldn't be able to get out again.
No. I mean, it doesn't have doors. I can just hop out the top. But the car probably won't get out again.
No. You get out of it. That looks like a you problem now, boys.
There you go. Cheers.
1 MOT. Didn't say anything about it not falling in the pit. Yeah, they're funny. I've never driven one. It looks.
Driven it around the yard at work. I haven't the unit.
Looks a bit. It does look a bit scary.
Yeah. When you realise how much it actually is of it, it's just fiberglass. So, it's. I'm trying to think about that too much.
What are they actually? So what if they got a chassis as such, or I'm guessing is it like a shortened 2CV chassis, or?
Well, I actually don't think it's shortened. It's a lot longer than it looks. Because I'm trying to figure out if I could fit it in a van, and once I measured it, I realised it's actually quite long. It's I can't remember how long. I did measure it, but I can't remember how long it is. But it is quite long. And,
okay.
I don't really know how I'm gonna transport it long distance because I don't think it'll actually fit in a van. Well, if I can get a van with enough overhang, like a Transit, I might be able to put it in backwards and have the front wheels. But yeah.
Or a Luton.
Or
you'll just have to drive it.
Well, yeah.
You just have to get the old goggles on.
But the plan is because I want to sort of, if I can, sort of hill climb it and stuff like that. Not competitive.
Okay.
And I want to enter into Race the Waves next year.
Race the Waves? What's that?
Yeah. When they do beach races at is it Pendine Sands, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, Pendine Sands, yeah.
Bridlington, so not quite as glamorous, but
Oh.
so I want to do that. But you have to enter, and then they have to sort of accept you. So it depends if it gets accepted. But I wanna do that, and maybe some other little like hill climb stuff. But I don't know. I have no idea how to get into any of that.
No,
'Cause
I don't know. I mean, hill climb does look quite good fun. Where have you got near you? I was just trying to think. No, I can't. I can't think what would be up there.
Okay, there's Harewood in Leeds, and then there's Scamondon as well, but I don't really know what they do there. It always seems like so cryptic to get into it. You have to be.
You know what you should do is trials in it. Put some knobbly tyres on the front, as knobbly as you're allowed to go, and then get a friend in there and bounce.
Yeah, yeah. I like this fun. Yeah,
That looks a lot of fun.
I wanted to do the. Is it Pendine or Pendine? I don't know. How do you pronounce it?
And I'm pretty sure it's Pendine. Where's Miss Hubner?
Because she said come to Pendine, but I did look into that. But it's run by the Vintage Sports Car Club, and if your car's not actually vintage, they won't let you in. So, and even if it looks vintage, it has to be like pre-war for them to accept you. So.
Yeah, yes, they might. They're going to think you're an imposter in your fake vintage car.
Yeah.
And you're like, "What's a 2CV? It's vintage to me."
Yeah, I mean, it was like invented then. It might not be from, but
I think you'll find it was pre-war at heart.
Yeah.
Pretty vintage to me.
Whereas Race the Waves is a lot more relaxed. It's basically like if it looks like it'll fit the bill, we'll let it in. So
what's the actual premise at Race the Waves? Do you literally race the waves?
Yeah, they set out a little course on the beach, and then there's a load of cars. You come up, line up. I mean, it's not competitive. It's just a running. You run down the sun, come back.
It's competitive if you want to make it competitive.
I mean, it's a really good event. It's completely free. You just turn up to Bridlington Front and watch it, and it's across 2 days. It's quite good, and I've been the last 3 years now, and I'm like, okay, I need to get something on there now. I want to take part.
So it's front wheel drive might be a bit of
Yeah.
a limitation in that.
But the skinny tires would help me, maybe.
I don't know actually on sand, would they? It would on snow, but I don't know. Would they dig in? Probably would round the corner. If they dig in, wouldn't they? But yeah.
There's mainly like hot rods and American stuff that do it as well, and then there's a lot of bikes. So I don't know what they would class that as, whether it would be a car or a bike.
What license do you need to drive it?
I don't know. I think it is classed as a, well, to be fair, mine's not even registered right, technically. It's registered as a 224 when it's a 223. So whenever anybody reg checks it, they'll go, oh, it's registered as a 224.
So 224 is a 4-wheel version.
I don't know, but I don't know if it is. Oh, my phone. I was about to look for my phone. It's there.
I was about to look for my phone. I'm looking at it.
I am looking at it. But yeah. Because someone said the V8 Comma. Yeah, Paul it sadly broke it, but he did compete. He his rear diff let go eventually. Yeah. Have you seen the V8 Comma on Twitter? On YouTube?
Oh, yeah. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, Man Facility work.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds quite Larry.
Yeah, he's blown the diff twice on that now.
Oh.
So he's rebuilding it again because he drag races that a lot, which is quite funny to watch.
I imagine it is, and quite humbling if you've got a sports car.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, that's not like if that thing pulls up next to you, you're like, that is not standard. You want something that, like, they're looking at it going, why would you race that? You think that's quick? Like, just something like a standard looking Clio 172 or something like that. But look at this little John boy here, and then it's got a V8 in the back.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've seen that. It does look quite smart. It sounds great.
Yeah. I think there's about
Although
two.
my favourite sounding V8 recently has been the Tatra that was at Festival of the Unexceptional.
Oh yeah,
That
was amazing.
Yeah, that sounded amazing.
Mm.
It was,
what it was. Everyone was kind of like, "What is it?"
Yeah, no, I really liked the Tatra. It was really cool.
Yeah.
It was weird. It had like a roll cage in it, and it was almost like it was done up for drag racing, but it wasn't. It was a strange thing. It just sounded mental. Absolutely
And when that
mental.
left, like stopped and turned, like, wow.
Yeah, no, I've got a video of it and stuck it on because it was just, yeah, it sounded just, it was insane. It was just a real like guttural kind of like V8
Yeah.
burble, you know, as it went out. Like glug, 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 you know.
Yeah.
But I've just noticed that it's the, oh, hang on, what's this? Pollitt has asked if he can go at 3 a.m. He's getting tired now. I thought you were supposed to sleep first. Who would stay up all night? Yeah, you could do 3 a.m. And we're close to 6 apparently.
Oh.
5804. I want to know what we were at this time last year. I think it might have been less.
I can't
See if I can find out.
Dig deep, everyone. Let's get to 6 before, well, maybe not before 2. It's a bit optimistic. It's only a minute.
Let's have a. Oh, Christ. No, I can't find her. I was hoping to find something that had the times on it or something like that, but it's all just 10 months ago. But we must have. I need to update the spreadsheet I did, but some people are going to be in for earning some money. Not money. God, can you tell I'm tired? Going to be in for winning some potential prizes.
Oh.
To anyone who's donated £20 or more, they could win a Hubnut T-shirt.
I donated more than £20. I could add it to my other list of wins for this year. You know.
You might. Do you know? You might as well.
Imagine if I did that. I would be like, right, this is getting ridiculous now. Stop it.
For God's sake, you can go off people, you know.
Yeah. I won the lottery. Yet. Bye. No.
I've got one of the prizes is not there. I don't know why I'm looking for that. It's OBD, a Bluetooth OBD diagnostics thing.
All right.
So you put it in the OBD slot and you get the app on your phone and you can do your diagnostics with your phone and get live data and everything like that.
Oh.
Top Dollar donating that. A very stylish I Love AU t-shirt. And there's the SM money. 25 SMs have been sold.
Wow.
Mad. Right, well, I should probably wrap up and get ready for the next guest.
Yep.
Matt Pink on next. Weird Car Twitter. Is he one of the OG?
I mean, he has stickers, so he's pretty high up there. He hands out Twitter
If
stickers.
there was a CEO, he would definitely be one of them.
Yeah, he's up there. He's on the board of directors.
And because he bought a Yugo Sana. And then he bought another Yugo Sana. So some would say he's ill. But others would say he's a CEO. So he is 100% OG. OG Weird Car Twitter. Well, look, thanks for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me again.
And thank you for not bragging too much and showing your trophies that much, you know.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I just.
Oh, what this thing?
Oh, sorry. Not that.
No, it's no big deal, really. Yeah, all right. Well, nice one. Cheers, Katie, and yeah, probably see you in the chat at some point.
Yeah, I'll probably stick around for a bit longer. I'm not that tired yet. I'm still all right. So.
All right, don't rub it in. I'm like that.
Yeah. Why? I mean, I've been at work all day and everything. Maybe it's
I was
just.
supposed to be napping today and taking it easy, and no, I've been here since like 10:30, clearing up, doing all sorts on my feet. So dynoing Citroen DSs or not DSs. So yeah, right, nice one. Cheers for that.
Bye.
I'll see everyone in a minute with Matt.